everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we're going to be in Acts chapter 9. I'm going to read verses 28 through 30. Remember, we're picking up with Saul, so it says, "And he, Saul, spoke and disputed against the Hellenists, but they were seeking to kill him. And when the brothers learned this, they brought him down to Caesarea and then sent him off to Tarsus." So in the book of Acts, this is actually going to be the last time we're going to hear from Saul. The next time we encounter this man will actually be a few chapters ahead, chapter 13, and by this time he's going to go by a different name. His name is going to be Paul, that we know as the Apostle. Now, I especially want you to notice here what Saul is doing and how he's doing it. You see, before Christ, Saul was a Pharisee, which aligned himself with a more conservative group of Jews called Hebraic Jews. Now, this group strived to protect their national identity by following the Hebrew law more closely and actually distancing themselves from the culture. And of course, we know that in the New Testament, Jesus frequently addresses what we call the legalism and the hypocrisy of these Jews. But there was also another group of Jews called Hellenistic Jews. And Hellenism is a term or a word used to describe the influence of Greek culture on people during New Testament times. Thus you have Hellenistic Jews, or Jews who are influenced by Greek culture. Now, most of the Roman Empire, though, was influenced by Greek culture. There's no way to get away from it. And there were several ways that Hellenism influenced them. For example, the Aramaic language was a Greek language that most people spoke across the Roman Empire. Even the Septuagint, which was a Greek version of the Hebrew Bible, was written and distributed during this time. And eventually, there were several other things that Hellenism slowly influenced, including Hebrew theology, law, and even religious practices. Thus, during Saul's time, we see the rise of Gnosticism, even polytheism, and Stoicism growing in influence. And guess what? Even Saul eventually takes a Greek name. He changed his name to Paul. And so we learn that culture has a slow and progressive impact on our beliefs, communication, and even our behavior. Thus, what we see Saul doing here is he's disputing some of these issues as an educated Jewish believer in Jesus Christ with Greek followers. And guess what? There's also a Greek or Hellenistic word we use to describe what Saul is doing right now. It's the word apologetics. And this word means to explain the reason for our belief. And Paul is going to become a monster apologist for the faith. Now, gentlemen, we live in an age where we're going to need more men like this. Men who are transformed by the faith, educated in the faith, and bravely speaking out in faith, who can give a reasonable apologetic for our faith. And in the coming years, as popular culture speeds up and continues to have an impact on our world, our country, corporations, churches, and homes, we're going to need men who will speak out. It may even cost us our name, but don't worry, God will give you a new name, just like he did Saul. And in the coming chapters, we will see the impact that this brave, bold, apologetic has on the world forever. And this too could be you if you're ready. Thanks so much for joining me for this devotional today. I pray it's inspired you. Share it with some guy you know out there, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.